supposed to start, and I look, and my phone is at 31% charge, and I'm going, oh, this isn't going to work. So try to get all that hooked up. So I got it hooked up to the computer, so we're good. So somebody give me a 5x5, and we will get the day started here. All right, and I see I'm live on the screen, so that's good. And now I can see when you guys can tell me you can hear me. All right, Jacob gives me the 5x5. Charlie was a close second. Okay, but Jacob is still the reigning champ. All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm glad to see you all here. Uh, Finally, a little bit of warm weather for most of us, I guess. See, some of you guys are still getting snow and all, but spring's coming and getting a lot closer. And had some 70-degree temperatures here for the last couple of days. So if I look like hell, it's because I spent the last couple of days working outside. You saw what I did yesterday, and you'll see what I've been working on today in the morning. So I'll wait till that one so you guys can figure it out. So, all right. So, greetings to my moderators. I see Patriot Sandwich Makers in here. Jacob's here. North Shore is in here. Good evening, all gentlemen. Okay, so you guys all know the rules. Keep it clean. Keep them, keep the riffraff out of here. We'll go from there. So, and then I will get into just a little bit of housekeeping here. So, all right. So, I kind of keep an eye on what's going on financially in the world. So, good side of things is the 10-year treasuries dropped back to about 1.61. So that's good. I guess what was driving the yields up, and just so y'all understand, there's an inverse relationship between price and yield. But I guess the Japanese were selling treasury bonds like crazy, and that's what was driving the yields up. That came out this afternoon. Morgan Stanley had figured that one out. So hopefully back here we stay a little safer. If we stay at 1.61, I'm fine. That's not crazy this time yet. But obviously we know the Fed was buying, or the Treasury was buying back bonds as quick as they can when the yield got up. So hopefully they don't have to keep doing it. If the yield stay down here, we're okay. On the other side of the fence, the silver market, which is something that's near and dear to all of us. If you haven't gotten any recently, you got a second chance. Silver's pulled back to just over $25 an ounce again, spot price at least. Now, the downside to silver being that cheap is it's extremely hard to find. And I've said to you guys, and sent a few of you the link to a website where you can kind of see where you can get it. It's called comparesilverprices.com. All right. And it's the major dealers, silver.com, BGSC, JM Bullion, Gold Silver, Provident Metals, SD Bullion, Kitco, APMEX. Okay. The prices are good. If you go to silver.com right now, and I'm looking on the screen as I speak here, and I just clicked on the wrong thing, you can get Buffalo rounds, 1 ounce look like the old Buffalo nickels, for right about $30, depending on, how many you buy, okay, which is a good price for those. The problem is there's next to nothing to be had on any of these websites for any of your generic silver rounds. Most of them are out of stock. You have some stuff that's on pre-order. So the issue that we're having right now in the silver market is the prices are good to buy, but the inventory is pretty low. So if you're looking to grab some, check out this website, look in there and see what you can get. But like I said, silver.com has the best price right now on silver rounds in the Buffaloes. So then they've got them in stock. They're the only place that has them in stock. So that was what we got there. So, all right. So say my good evenings to everybody. Chief Jim, I see you were the first one in here, and no, I don't have the cheeseburgers on the grill yet. But it's about that time, and you'll know a lot more about it tomorrow. Okay, so let's see. Jeanette Humphreys here, prepared for Scarlet Brimstone, the Rooster, Bob Mills, Jeep Girl is lurking. Okay, and dehydrating chickpeas. There you go. Bob Mills, Ricky Beerlar, East Tennessee Preparedness, another lurker as he's stuck at work, but that's fine. Lisa Preps is in here. Jeff Riffle. America First is in here. I haven't been to the post office box yet, so I don't know if there's anything there. I haven't been there in about a week, so we'll see what's going on. Leafin, Track Rock, Thomas Hester. Good evening to everybody here. Keith Brooks, I see you're in here. Sue Hatton is here. Charlie's here. Of course, he was second in the race, but but good evening, everybody. Again, I could be reading names all night because we got 266 people in here, at least from what I see. So, okay, so that's kind of what we got going on. I know y'all are going to have some questions about what happened in Boulder the last couple of days, so we'll probably get into that. But if you guys have already figured it out, then we can skip it. But as per normal, wide open Q&A. Nothing's off limits as long as you keep it clean, okay? And we'll kind of go from there. So please, if you've got questions, put them in all caps so I can see them. I try to keep up with the chat as best I can, but remember, I'm usually probably 5, 10, 15 minutes behind because as I'm giving answers and you guys are still chatting. So just because you haven't heard your question doesn't mean I haven't seen it. Maybe I haven't got to it yet. So, all right. So let's see what we got tonight. And now that at least I know my phone is charging, so we won't get shut off in the middle of it unless YouTube does it to us. But if YouTube does it to us, I will be right back. So go from there. All right. And of course, as soon as I was about to start, we got shot all the way to the bottom. So fortunately, I know I'm at the top. Let's see where we are. Okay. Where was I? Jeff Riffle's grilling in Florida. Okay, there's your cheeseburgers. So, Chief Jim, you got to go down to Florida to get cheeseburgers tonight. Okay, all right. Get into what do we got? Where are we? Okay, Tiger 454. Been working on getting your garden beds prepared. Yeah, we should be pretty, depending on where you are. Obviously, some of you guys still have snow, but yeah, by now you should have everything amended, tilled, ready to plant. For anybody that's probably zone 6, 7, 8, keep on going up. Everybody zone 5, you're getting, unless you're getting closer and closer as the weathers warm up. But like I said, I'm zone 6. I've got some stuff in the ground. There's some stuff that will be going in the ground here in about a week. So it's getting to be planting time. All right. Indiana Prepper made it in the house. There we go. We got all the mods in here. Good deal. Coral Tigger, my Cherokee purple seeds are germinating like gangbusters. I can't believe it. Good. Hoping that you're telling me that because you used the soil starter mix that I told you to make. So, busted beak. Who am I calling riffraff? Trust me, if you guys see some of the stuff in the comments, that's the riffraff. Okay, the ones that have no business being here and all they want to do is complain. No, that's not what we're here for. We're all here to learn, share ideas, and do all that sort of stuff. If you want to come in here and bitch, go somewhere else. Okay, this is a prepping channel. We're here to learn. If you want drama, go to a soap opera channel. That's pretty much the way I look at it. Ruth's here talking about North Shore and his love raids. Yeah, I participated in a few of those. They're fun. I love seeing the expressions on people's faces when it happens. So, yeah, if you guys haven't checked out North Shore's live streams when he does some of these, well, any time he does it, but the love raids are a lot of fun. So, and it's just nice to, make somebody, who's trying to get a channel going or whatever it is. All of a sudden there's a bunch of people in there and, sometimes you get into tears. It's kind of fun to see, spreading the love, as Sean puts it. Prepared for. Do I think we'll get a boomstick ban soon? How do you think it might go down? All right, so that's kind of the time. I knew we were going here tonight. So, we all know what happened in Boulder, Colorado, where we had some wacko decide to go into a supermarket and shoot up the place and I guess killed 10 people. Okay. Now, if you all notice, the mainstream media, immediately, it's a white guy, blah, 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 domestic terrorist, etc., assault weapons, and all this crap, all right? till the news comes out that it wasn't a white guy. Okay, it was somebody who looks like he might have been a jihadist. And so, I mean, more of that's coming out, but now of course the media went stone cold silent after that because their narrative got blown to hell. But I find it kind of funny that the same time this goes down is the same time you got Dianne Feinstein's bill to ban 150 different types of boomsticks. Okay. Now, I've heard, again, you get all the conspiracy theories out there, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. It's like, oh, this was a setup. The guy was paid to go in there and do that by the government so they could out what? Okay, I'm not buying that crap either. It's like, seriously, hey, we're going to pay some guy to go in and kill a bunch of innocent people in a grocery store? No, okay, that just doesn't fly for me. I mean, as crooked as our politicians are, I don't think they're that bad. Okay, could be wrong, but I'm an optimist. All right. Now, however, the media for the next week or so is going to play up everything about, we shouldn't have ARs, AKs, 9 millimeters, anything with that can fire more than 3 rounds, whatever craziness they're going to go into. Again, it's going to be a whole bunch of talking heads who don't have a clue. Again, go look on YouTube and you'll see any of these videos about politicians. The 50 caliber magazine. Okay, the guys don't even know nomenclatures or anything like that for weapons. It's going to fire 30 rounds in less than a second. No, it can't. Okay, so politicians don't have a clue, and they're not going to be able to do anything. Again, I've said many, 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 many times. The logistics of confiscating weapons is not possible, okay? And my bet still is that they are going to just make it impossible to feed them, okay? And, if go into the gun shops, the inventory is low, but the ammo is gone, okay? You can find some online, but you're going to pay through the nose for it. So that's how they're going to do it. But there's billions and billions of rounds that are sitting in people's homes in their gun safes right now. I mean, there's just no logistical way to take it. So this is all yammering from politicians and from the media to try to stir up people and try to sway people over to the other side. It ain't, the camps are already there. You're either pro 2A or anti 2A. Nobody's sitting on the fence. You're either pro-abortion or anti-abortion. You're not sitting on the fence, okay? And, as much as they want to try to swing people to the other side, it ain't going to happen. So, this is all, again, great for campaigning, great for ratings for TV, but there's nothing coming of it. So, okay. There's my long-winded answer to that one for you. Big Mama, gonna make that chicken soup. Will there be a revolution? Yeah, there's going to be. I just don't know how. I mean, is it going to be, an economic revolution? Is it going to be a, fire and brimstone, blood and bullets revolution? Don't know. Okay. I still think that, and again, this is not next week. I still think eventually what happens is we have a balkanization of the United States. I think we're beyond reproach. Okay, there is no repairing this. The divide between left and right, politically, is just way too immense. There is no middle anymore. Yeah, there's some people who say they're in the middle. Okay, the only reason they say they're in the middle is because they really don't know anything of what's going on either side. Okay, but again, like I said with the last question, what side of the fence you are. You're either, pro this or anti this. You're pro climate change, anti climate change, pro green energy, anti green energy. There is, I don't know. Everybody pretty much knows. So yeah, something's going to happen in a revolution. How it's going to turn out, I don't know. But the America we knew as of February 2020 ain't coming back, okay? America will still be here. The United States will still be here. Just we may not be the United States anymore. We may be 3 different countries, which is my guess. The rooster. Love the root cellar idea. The bad part is I told the missus, I'm guessing the bad part is now you got to go dig a hole, hoping that's at least the bad part. Oh yeah, I want to answer a couple of questions because this seemed to come up a few times on there. All right, and I know there's different ways of doing this, so I'll just answer a couple of questions while I got y'all here. A few people asked me about drilling holes in the bottom. I know there's places out there that say to do that, okay, because, oh, you need the water to drain out. You're not going to get that much water in there, okay, as long as you got it sealed up correctly. You want that condensation and that humidity in there. You need to store your food. You need about 90% humidity in there. So you want that. You just don't want it to pool. The reason you don't want to drill holes up in the bottom, sure, water can get out, bugs can get in, okay, and you don't want bugs in your vegetables, that's for sure, okay. The second question, how do you reach down there? A couple of ways. You can use one of those long grab sticks, that you got the trigger on, that's got the claw on the end. You can do that, stuff that you use to reach stuff off of high shelves, works going down too. Another good idea that somebody brought up is putting baskets in there. So like a laundry basket would work well because it'll fit right in. But the big question that seemed to come up was about water getting inside, okay? And obviously I didn't put anything in there. It's not harvest time. I mean, just putting this in. But so you guys all know, come fall when I'm harvesting, when I'm putting carrots or potatoes or whatever it is, you're gonna put a sheet of plastic over the top and then you're gonna put some sort of insulation. I use straw, okay, over it. But you're gonna put plastic over the top of it that is going to keep any water from coming in there. I know people said about bears, about raccoons and stuff like that. Again, you've got plastic over it, you've got straw over it. It's going to help with the smell, okay? And as tight as those lids are, I mean, a bear could open it, sure. Raccoons, I don't think they're going to be strong enough. I mean, it takes some pulling on that thing to get those off. You want to have a good, tight-fitting lid. So those are just some things I wanted to touch base on. Somebody made an idea of putting a lean-to over it for those of you guys in the snow area. Yeah, I mean, that would be a good idea. I mean, I don't get that much snow here, so it's not a big deal for me. But yeah, if you get a lot of snow, instead of having to dig it out, put some sort of awning or something over it so the snow will slide by and you can still get into it. So, but again, like I said on many things, take the ideas, adapt it to your situation and make it work best. I mean, y'all know this, okay? What works in Florida doesn't necessarily work in Nova Scotia, okay? And vice versa. The idea will work, you just have to manipulate it so it works to your particular area. So, all right, chugging on along. Let's see, where are we? Be your best you. Just found you. I have $100 in junk dimes just in case of the apocalypse. Now I used to have lots of gold and silver. Now I have all in Bitcoin since 8K. What are your thoughts? Okay, so if you're new here, I am not a proponent of Bitcoin. And I know everybody comes up and goes, oh, it was 25,000 and now it's 55,000 and I doubled my money. Yeah, I get that, okay? You also remember last year, Bitcoin went from 20,000 to 4,000, okay? So what goes up must come down. And again, I'm going to say this with my financial advisor hat on, okay? Things don't run up that fast, that crazy, and hold, okay? Very rarely is something that undervalued, everybody gets on and it stays there. But that's not even my big reason for not liking Bitcoin. The reason I don't like Bitcoin is all it takes is the power to go out and you have no money. Okay, you're done. I mean, if you can't log into your computer, you got no money. We have an EMP, poof, you're broke. Okay, some people want to dabble in it. That's fine. I mean, it's not for me. Okay, it doesn't mean it's not. I'm not telling you not to do it. That's your decision. Okay, I wouldn't put all my money in it, like you kind of said. I mean, maybe you want to put some of it, but I would still have, at this point in time, some fiat currency, some precious metals, and if you want to participate in crypto, go that way. I wouldn't do a third. I've said to everybody, 5 to 10% is, the prudent way to go with precious metals. I'd say probably the prudent way to go with Bitcoin. Okay, if you're going to do it. I don't believe in it. I know a lot of people do, but I think having all your money in Bitcoin is super risky because you know the volatility in it. It can, I mean, it could, Bitcoin could go from, was it 55,000 or something like that right now? It could be 35,000 tomorrow, and you go, crap, I just lost 40% of my money like that. Very possible. Okay. Let's see where we got here. CKOC, I'm getting me some metal trash cans tomorrow. Have fun finding them. Okay, that's the hard part. I bought these in the fall. When I got them, Home Depot didn't have them. Lowe's didn't have them. I found them online. They wanted like $70 a piece plus shipping. That wasn't going to happen. And then we were in Tractor Supply one day, and they had two, and I walked out with two. That's what I needed. And I was like, oh my god, this was it. So, again, look around. They're not going to be easy to find. Jim, cheeseburger barbecue at Pinball. Come on over. Yeah, we'll do cheeseburgers. Okay, Lisa Preps. Biden was in Columbus today, visited the James Cancer Center. 20 people on the corner when he arrived. More than 100 when he left came to watch. A few, more than 20 Trump supporters with signs. Also, your thoughts on CO. Okay, I don't know what you mean by CO. I'm almost guessing it's on COVID. But yeah, I mean, Biden's not the people's president. I mean, nobody cares. I mean, the guy's just a doddering old fool who's sitting in, he's the current occupier of the White House. That's it. Okay. There's nobody's going, yeah, I want to hear Joe give a speech. I mean, couldn't stand Obama, but he was a good orator. All right. Trump brought crowds in. I mean, we saw Joe. I mean, Joe gave a rally and 8 people show up for it. Okay. There were more people in the bathroom at Trump's rally than there were at Joe's rally. So, the guy doesn't excite anybody. I mean, he doesn't even excite Jill. So, what do you want? But yeah, it doesn't surprise me that nobody showed up for him. I mean, the guy's a nothing. I mean, he's a wallflower. Big deal. He's the laughing stock of the world as a leader. So, that's just who we have. Yay us. Okay, let's see. Whoops, gotta go find me again. Hang on. All right, I'm gonna kind of guess where we are. Okay, so I can't even get all the way to the top now. Blue Star, I saw Biden wants the Senate to pass emergency gun laws. Yeah, that's great. I mean, who's going to, again, this goes right back to what I said. Who is going to enforce them? And I'll say it for the umpteen millionth time. If you took every cop and every military person in the country, okay, including all the cooks and clerks and mechanics and whatever, and said, go round up all the weapons, each one of them would have to go to nearly 3,000 houses. Okay, how long is that going to take? And how, word's going to travel fast. Oh my God, there's some guy in, I don't know, pick something, the suburbs of Chicago, picking up weapons. They're going to call every friend they know, but sorry, don't have anything. Lost them all in a boating accident. They're buried somewhere or whatever it is, took them out in the woods, and the guy leaves. Okay, bring them back home. It ain't happening. They can put all the emergency gun laws in the world. Mind you, they can't figure out how to do it. Okay, they want to get rid of us from being armed because then they have no defense, which is the reason why the Second Amendment's there in the first place. Okay, is to protect all of us from all enemies, foreign and domestic. They are the domestic enemy. That's why they want us disarmed. I mean, again, you look at, Soviet Union, you look at, Germany in the 30s. I mean, the first thing you do is you disarm the population, and then you can run roughshod over them because nobody can do anything back. We all know how this turns out every time. So that's the big problem in their agenda, and that's why it's so important for us never to let it happen. One Revolution, thank you for the super chat there. Appreciate that. Not necessary, but oh Go to something around here for a prep. Yeah, Kitty Webb said something's better than nothing. The crossbow gun's also more quiet. Yeah, I mean, I put that video up, guys. I mean, I've got both. I've got traditional firearms, all sorts of them, and I've got that too. Okay. Why? Because if anything goes crazy and eventually you do run out of ammo, okay, I've still got something. And if you can't, for whatever reason, own any sort of firearm, that's something else you can have. Again, exactly like she said, something is better than nothing. I mean, if the worst you got is if the best you got is a golf club or a baseball bat, that's better than standing there going, waving your finger at them. I mean, that's not going to do any good. So, anything you got is better than nothing you got. C-Max made it. So we got another one of the mods in there. Good evening, my dear. Lee Finn said bought a crossbow since Pinball mentioned it the other day. Okay, again, it's got to fit your situation. Just because I say to do something like that doesn't mean you got to go do it, all right? I'm not the end-all, be-all. I'm not selling anything to you guys. I'm just giving you ideas. If it's a good idea, go for it. If it's not, tell me to go pound sand and we're good. Let's see where else we are. Kitty Webb ought to get some royalties from the sales since he showed us this. It's not what I'm here for, guys. I care less about that. That's why you're never going to see me do any sort of paid promotions or any of that crap. That's not me. That's not why I'm doing this. LC4, I'll call you there. Do I think the government's buying all the freedom seeds just to cause the shortage or just increase demand? I think it's a little bit of both. Okay, I think there is an increased demand, but just like what happened in 2008, the government puts a mass order in for everything, and that's going to be the first thing that's going to be made, and that's why we had the 22 LR shortage back, 10, 12 years ago, and same thing's going on now. I mean, they have the ability to stockpile like you and I will never have. Okay, and of course, any business is going to fill their biggest order first, and then everything comes down. So yeah, there's a little, I mean, how many billions of rounds could, the feds want to buy? Okay, and that's going to take a while to produce. That's why we're not seeing anything on the shelf. Tammy Eaker finally made it live. Hi, everyone. Hi, Tammy. Drina Herrera, Boulder's the most liberal city in Colorado. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, Colorado's blue. That's, yeah. The Rooster, skin color doesn't make the murderer mindset for stupidity does. Exactly. But tell that to the mainstream media. That doesn't work for them. The thing that kills me about the whole thing is the majority of the people in the mainstream media are whites. So basically what they're doing is condemning themselves unless they're trying to go, hey, I'm the exception to the rule. Okay. You know what? There's wackos of every skin color. Black, white, brown, Hispanic, Asian, you name it. Okay. No skin color makes you smarter. No skin color makes you dumber. No skin color makes you more of a lunatic. So it's just whatever the people turn out to be. So, this one just happened to be another Middle Eastern Europe lunatic. Colonial Prepper, what are my thoughts on a convention of states? Well, the convention, again, there's got to be a reason for it. Okay. And if it's, let's go back to the 18th and 21st Amendment. You call the Convention of States, to have prohibition to repeal prohibition, and we repealed prohibition. If they do a Convention of States to, let's say, for example, repeal the Second Amendment, it ain't ever going to happen. Okay. You need 38 states to say, yes, we want to repeal the Second Amendment. Okay. You can name 13 off the top of your head that, would never let it happen. I mean, just pick every red state. Just go right down. You go, Montana, Idaho, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, poof. Okay. Every state I just named, do you honestly think anybody in those states is going to say, yeah, you know what, we don't want to have firearms anymore? Not going to happen. So I don't worry about them pulling the Second Amendment at all. Again, it's all politics. It's all for views, clicks, whatever the hell you want to be, for the politicians to say, oh, look, I'm doing it. Those big bad Republicans won't let me. Well, because, those big bad Republicans are, I'll say conservatives because the Republican Party's toast. But those of us who are conservatives, we still have something inside the hat here, besides hair. And on the left, most of them don't even have the hair. Let's see. David Williams, I have arms waiting in us for me. Okay, I'm not understanding I have arms waiting in us for me. I like the jab, I won't comply. I'm assuming you're talking about not taking away any of your firearms. So, yeah, I think we're all pretty much the same way. Thomas Hester, my January pinball wine is slightly sparkling. Did I bottle it before it was done fermenting? If you don't taste any yeast, you're fine. You're gonna get a very slight bit of carbonation in it. That's just natural. You pour it in a glass, you'll have a little bit of tiny little bubbles, but it's not like champagne where you see bubbles coming up from the bottom. But no, you let it do fine. As long as you don't taste yeast in it when you drink it, you let it ferment enough. Texas Poon Tap, a lot of mods in here. I think I've got 5. I think I only have 5, so I guess they're all here. Matthew Trucking, I buy 2 boxes of ammo on Thursday and Friday Academy store when the doors open. Yeah, get it while you can. The only problem that you got with it right now is, rounds for, 5.56 rounds or, $1.25 a piece. 9mm rounds are more than $1 a piece. That's the other thing is we're all priced out of the market for getting stuff here. Okay, let's see. Lee Finn, you were told it wouldn't work in the South. I'm assuming you're talking about the root cellar. Otherwise, I'd have my husband digging already. I'm in Tennessee. Okay, it works fine. Actually, it'll work better down here than it will up north because the frost line isn't as deep. All right, it's what our frost line here where I am is probably about 6 inches. Okay, you get up north, and it's going to be 4 feet. Now, if you were down in Miami, you're going to have an issue, or Galveston, Texas, or whatever. You're probably going to have some sort of an issue because it's never going to get cool enough. But the idea is to keep it cool so that you want to be that 45, 50 degree temperature. You want to be cool enough, but not frozen. And so if you stay around 45, 50 degrees, basically what you're doing is creating a thermal refrigerator. It's the root cellar works on the same principle as a heat pump. Okay, it's taking the heat or taking the coolness and keeping that same temperature out of the ground. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world. I mean, if you could do this in the Sahara Desert. Okay, if you get down into the soil, the ground is going to be cool. But yeah, so get your husband digging because it will work. Okay. Well, we have over 500 people in here. That might be, the very first one we did, but I think that with the exception of the giveaway. Prepper 007, I think everyone should build a 12-foot fence around their homes. But fences don't work. Remember? Haven't we been told that forever? Fences don't work. Either that or we have to have a great big door on it. I agree with you. Kitty Webb, shh, and bears getting in the house. Yes, okay, don't want bears in the house. So, uh, yeah, Patriot Ref. Media really pushing this Asian hate crime thing, even though the FBI says it wasn't. Of course, the media is, I mean, we all know this by now. The media could give a rat's ass about getting the story right. Okay. All the media wants is views or clicks or whatever. Hey, let's sensationalize something. I mean, the term yellow journalism, I mean, if you're a yellow journalist these days, you're a good journalist, okay? Because the other one, the rest of them are shit brown. Just yeah. I mean, all it is sensationalize everything, blow everything out of proportion, and then a couple of weeks later they'll give a retraction at 3 o'clock in the morning, going, oh, when Rachel Maddow said that 2 weeks ago, she was wrong. Okay, back to you, Joe. Or the Washington Post will post a piece this big on page 19 back in the lifestyle section saying our headline story from March 22nd was wrong. North Shore, they're advertising Bitcoin on the radio here. If it's so great, why do they have to advertise? Yeah. Good question. I mean, again, it's somebody it's a Bitcoin in my mind is still a huge Ponzi scheme. Okay. And eventually I'll be proven right, but until then, y'all make money and trade whatever you do, and good luck to you. And if you get rich off of it, more power to you. But if you get poor off of it, don't say you weren't warned. Jam at the nut house. Per my accountant, you didn't make anything until you cash it out and pay taxes. Exactly. We've all heard the term paper rich. Okay. Your 401k could be $1 million, it'd have $1 million in it. But unless you have access to your 401k, which means you haven't retired, okay, you don't have $1 million. You have a piece of paper that says you have $1 million. You just can't get to it. Unless you have it in your hot little hand, you ain't got it. Okay. It's like all these guys buying precious metals, the futures. Oh, I bought a whole bunch of silver. Yeah, really? Can I see it? Oh, it's here's my statement. You don't own shit. Okay. That just goes, shh. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. You don't have anything anymore. Power's out. We have no record of that. Where are you going to go? Get it. Gina M. I don't trust Bitcoin. Right there with you, sister. Miles Daniel, in a world of without rule of law, what would be a good plan of action to care for all the orphans that will undoubtedly be around with lead being exchanged? Plan on taking them in and feeding them. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that. You're absolutely right. And then then your humanitarian side comes about, because you're going to see kids just in this scenario, walking down the street crying, not know what to do. I mean, a teenager, yeah, they're going to figure out how to do something. But I mean, imagine a 6-year-old or a 4-year-old or something, if they survive, what are they going to do? Somebody's got to find them. So, I mean, that's why it's really important that you are aware of your surroundings and know who's around you. Because if something happens, and it could be young parents, it could be the elderly, you're going to need to be checking on people to make sure that things are okay, because you never know what happens. I mean, just look at right now. A house gets broken into in your neighborhood. Let's say you live in the suburbs, okay? A house gets broken into, people come home from work and they realize that, their silver's gone, or whatever, their silverware or their stereo or their TV or whatever it is gone. The rest of the neighbors didn't even know about it, okay? Now imagine, let's say somebody came in the house in the middle of the day, and I don't want to be morbid here, but let's say somebody executed the family in the house, okay? Everybody else comes home from work. Nobody thinks anything about it. Nobody thinks anything. Gee, we haven't seen the Smiths in a couple of days. Then everybody realizes what's going on, or it's more likely, Mary and Joe Smith didn't show up for work one day. Where are they? Eventually happens. But that's the thing. So if we're in an SHTF situation, it's going to be critical for you to check on your neighbors who have kids, check on your neighbors who are elderly, and make sure they're okay, because you don't know what's going to happen. So this is where sense of community comes into play so much. Okay. C-Max, any new shortages in your area? We're still doing decent here in Western Michigan on almost everything, far as I can see. Last time I was in the store was Friday. I was in Walmart, so it's been a few days. And then the Walmart we were up in was across the border up in Kentucky. Now, that is a super Walmart, soup to nuts, everything, garden center and grocery and whole 9 yards. What we did notice in there, they had a ton of canning jars, believe it or not, but they were all pints and they're all the little stuff. They had a whole display of them. No quarts, okay, but they had all sorts of pints and everything like that. So that was on the positive side. The negative, when we went over to the grocery side, is it looked like every cow in the world had died, because there were maybe, this is a super Walmart, okay, in a town that has 2 stores. There's Kroger and a super Walmart. That's it. There were maybe 10 gallons of milk there. The yogurt was gone. The butter was gone. The cream cheese, there was like 4 packs of cream cheese left. The shelves were completely wiped out. Now, granted, this was Friday night about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Okay, so maybe they're going to overnight and restock the shelves. But when do most people go grocery shopping? Saturday. So, I don't know what it was like Saturday, but all I know is Friday night, it was pretty ugly. So that's it. I haven't been in the store in about 5 days, so I can't say for anything else on shortages. JM at the Nut House, I saw a report saying there will be a plastic shortage per the Texas storm. Not sure, but if you need them, get them now. I'll give you the other one. Okay, yeah, we've talked about the plastic plastic shortage and the rosin shortage. The cost of anything plastic is going up. Okay, I saw a story the other day about PVC pipe going up. So again, we're talking about housing again. The cost of a home. One of my friends here who runs a home builder office said that the same house they built a year ago is now $40,000 more because of the cost of lumber. It's almost $50 to buy for them to buy a 2x12 by 16. Okay, and you start thinking about floor joists and everything like that. This is what you're using, so you know where it's going. Now you get PVC and plastics going up. But other thing I saw today, the cost of computer chips is going up to the point to crazy. And this was where you're going to kind of look at it. Okay, General Motors, their profit margin on a new vehicle is about 11%. Okay, about 5% of that profit comes from computer chips. If those computer chips start going up, like everybody's talking about, that's going to drastically cut into the profit of GM. All right, so one of 2 things happens. Now, of course, Ford, Honda, Toyota, pick an auto dealer, same thing here. Okay, figure they're all competitive, so it's all going to be relatively the same. But GM's the one that I have the numbers on. Well, if the prices go, if the price of the chips go up, which is about 5% of the car, now the price of the car either has to go up, which of course hits us in the wallet, okay, or GM's profit margin goes down, which of course hits us in the stock market. So, either way, you're either paying more or the stock price is coming down, and if you own the S&P 500 or own any mutual funds or own GM outright, stock price is going to go down. So either way, you're going to get whacked on this. Oh my God, Krylon 103112. Bitcoin has a Visa card you can use now. How? It's not a bank. Bitcoin doesn't even exist. Okay, it's just a figment of everybody's imagination and a bunch of ones and zeros on a computer. So now they have a Visa card. Boy, and they said there's a fool born every minute. Uh, okay, let's see. Got to scroll back here because it took me down to the bottom and I didn't see it. So I'm going back into where I was before. All right, I will just take a shot in here. Lake Ferry's in here. Good evening, my dear. Arkansas Living's in here. Good evening, sir, and happy belated birthday. Bruce Sear, has everyone gotten their $1,400 stimulus checks yet? As I've not received a dime. From what I know, the direct deposits have gone out, and I believe the checks are supposed to go out either next week or the week after, something like that. TJ, you got hit again on your other channel. I'm hoping it was another warning. I don't know what they zapped you for this time. I know the article that you were talking about because it was sent to me too, and I looked at that as soon as I read it. I'm like, I can't touch this with a 10-foot pole because any of those articles. And I mean, the thing that kills me is it's quoting a video on YouTube, and you quote that video and you get whacked. And for all y'all that don't know, we as content creators are under massive scrutiny by YouTube. I mean, that's why a lot of people talk in code, stay away from topics. There's a lot of things we can talk about. There's quite a few things we can't. I know I got a warning back in the fall after the election discussing the jab. And as other news comes out, we just can't talk about it, which really sucks because we can't bring you information on it. So, unfortunately, in that case, as much as we try, those you got to find out yourself. I mean, a lot of us have alternate platforms that we use, and you can get it there. But as for discussing some things here, we just can't do it. It's not that we don't want to tell you; it's that if we do, look at Prepper Nurse One. A week ago, he got thrown in YouTube jail, couldn't make a video for a week. Lake Ferry Prepper, thrown in jail, can't make a video for a week. So, again, it's not that we're not trying to keep you guys informed on things we hear. It's just some of it, that's it. Because the First Amendment doesn't apply to those of us who want to tell the truth. Bigfoot's in here. I'm going through here. Okay. Mag, sweet savory roots. Yes, mag. I'm assuming that's talking before about what I was saying when somebody asked about the kids. Vegetable television. There's, okay, welcome. You got to be new. I've never seen that name. That's good. Deputized troops in D.C. Tell us more, please. All I can give you is my opinion on this, all right? Because obviously they don't put out the real reasons. But I find it weird that they're trying to keep people out of Washington, out of Capitol Hill, if you will, when the criminals are actually in Capitol Hill. And I think eventually what will happen is the National Guard soldiers are going to do one of these, and they're going to look inward and go, that's where the problem is, not out there. Because have we heard any problems whatsoever with anybody trying to go through any of these barricades? No. All right. We're now 2 months after the inauguration. Why do we still have them there? We didn't have barricades up through Trump's presidency, through Obama's presidency, through Bush's, through Clinton's, through Bush 1, through Reagan. We never had this before. Why does Biden need a fence around Capitol Hill? Why does Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer need to be protected? What are they doing that they're so afraid of? That's the thing to figure out. And, deputizing the troops, they're trying to brainwash them thinking that we're the enemy. And unfortunately, politicians in Washington aren't smart enough to realize that we, the people, aren't that dumb. So, okay, moving on through here. Okay, I can tell Ark's into his snarky comments because North Shore don't even like pickles. All right, and I always laugh when I go back and read some of these comments about the conversations you guys have afterwards. Uh, the rooster, a crying child will break your heart, but the whining parents crawl right under your skin. Ain't that the truth? Okay, you know, let's use an SHTF situation, okay? And you got that 7-year-old kid coming down the street crying, okay? It ain't his fault that he's hungry. But mom and dad who were whining that, gee, we can't feed our kids. Well, what the hell were you doing last year when everybody in the world was telling you to stock up on stuff? Well, let's see. We went to the Bahamas and we bought a new TV. And don't you like the new SUV that's out in the driveway? I'm going, yeah, it's wonderful. So what are you having for dinner? You know, just no sympathy for the parents. The kids, yeah, but no sympathy whatsoever for me out of the parents. If if people haven't realized by now, a year into COVID, and with the prices going up, and everybody and their mother has seen empty store shelves, if people haven't realized by now, they're never going to realize. Okay, so, and that's their own damn fault. I won't shed a tear. And I'm sorry if that sounds cold, but you can lead a horse to water. Uh, CKOC, good luck finding any kind of canned beef in Kentucky. Good thing you said that. Last time I was at Dollar General, which was Thursday, I believe it was, I looked to see if they had canned beef. Nope. Had a couple of cans of corned beef hash, and that had gone up from $1.75 to $2 a can. But as for canned beef, none. Because that was what I was looking at grabbing some more of, and I obviously didn't get any because they didn't have any. So not only Kentucky, but at least here in northern Tennessee. Let's see. CMAX, if you need to build projects, get materials now while you can afford and find it. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, and I think we might even be past some of that. I mean, when you're talking about $50 for a sheet of OSB, I mean, forget it. I mean, what is it? A 2x4x8 is about $8 now. Who in the hell's paying $1 a foot for a 2x4? I mean, that's unheard of. A couple of months ago, you get them for 2.5, $3. Not a couple of months ago, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, you got them for 2.5, maybe $3 a board. I mean, they've gone up nearly triple. North Shore, if you saw somebody that hate speak in the chat, just please boot them. Hyperinflation is here. Be your best you. Yep, yeah. I mean, and we're taking it chunks at a time. I mean, it's not like the loaf of bread's going to go from $2 to $10 overnight, but it certainly go from 2 to 250 to 250 to 3, and that's how we're going to see it. We're going to see it in big, small chunks. Okay, just not one massive chunk. Patriot Sandwich Maker, same thing. Keep it civil or get the boot. Just throw them out. Let's see. Scarlet Brimstone, how cost effective do you think earth bag homes are? I can't even begin to tell you because I don't know what an earth bag home is. So that one, I'm not even going to, I can't give you an answer because I don't even know what it is. We the people prepping. The computer chips are due to the sands shortage, according to the MSM. Yeah, well, you answered your own comment with the last 3 words, according to MSM. Okay, who knows? I have a tendency to think it'd probably be more to the fact to do all the cargo ships sitting out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean waiting to dock somewhere right now. But, that's just me. Miss T at the post office today to mail a small 5x8 padded envelope, 4.25. Yeah, I saw the last time I was at the post office. I think the last time I was at the post office was to mail out all the stuff, and I was like, wow, prices have gone up. Yeah, I mean, stamps are still the same, but yeah, the custom mail packages is getting crazy. Uh, Rooster, soon a wheelbarrow full of fiat will only be kindling, but sand, oh boy, yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, I mean, can you just wait for this? You're gonna have a run on, like we had a run on toilet paper last year. Just wait until everybody who was investing in Bitcoin is now gonna go, oh my God, I gotta go buy bags of sand. Quick, the sand is gonna be worth $1 million. No offense to you guys buying Bitcoin, but you get the point. Oops, let's see. Chief Jim, more and more talk about from official sources about UFOs. Don't know how to prep for that. Well, it depends on what UFO stands for. So, unintelligent federal official, that would be a good one. We got plenty of those, and we're all trying to figure out how to prep for them right now. Let's see. Be your best you talking about the Weimar Republic. Yeah, 21 to 248% in 1 year. Hyperinflation is going to be the big flame that fuels class warfare. Absolutely. I mean, when things get ridiculously crazy, when all these people that want to go eat off the dollar menu at McDonald's are now eating off the $10 menu at McDonald's, and going, I don't have that kind of money. What do I do? That's when society goes to hell. When people get hungry, that you think people steal TVs because they want the money. Wait to see what people do when they want to eat. That's when it's going to get crazy. And y'all need to be prepared for that. Okay, when that comes, if you live in the city or in a near suburb, I feel for you, because you're going to be a prime target, because all those people in the city realize there's nothing in the city. Those near suburbs, you're the first ones to get wiped out. Okay, so just hope you have your plans made soon, if not already. Oh my God, we're at 8:56. Let's see. And we're at the end of this. Yeah, United Federal Opposition. Okay, that one will work too. The leader of UFOs is in the White House. Teresa saying it's all a depopulation agenda. It very well could be. I mean, and the funny part is, with the depopulation agenda, we're probably, preppers are probably the worst enemy to the World Economic Forum, because we're the ones that aren't going to go along with this. We see right through them. And we're going to be the ones that survive. All the people that they want to survive are going to be the ones that starve. So, the sheep are going to starve. I mean, you see all these TV commercials. We don't have to cook anymore, or you don't have to do anything. Just scan the barcode on our oven and it'll cook automatically for you. And it was like one of you was saying on the chat the other day, or I'm sorry, in the comments to the video the other day, about a friend of theirs being in the grocery store, and this millennial girl looked like she was going to be in tears in the canned goods aisle. And the lady says, is everything okay? And she's like, all the frozen food's gone. I don't know what to do, because that's the problem. Everybody's like, we don't have to cook anymore. We just buy our frozen dinner, throw it in the microwave, and poof, we have dinner. It's like, okay, now how are you going to eat? Well, I don't know how to cook anything. I don't have a can opener. I can't even get a can of beans open. I don't even own any pots and pans. They'll be the first ones to go, and those are the ones that, the depopulation agenda wants to keep. So, but, again, can't think past here. Look, Mommy, there's a balloon in the sky. Okay. And I'm getting down to the end. Let's see. Teresa says, if you want to know the truth and you're mind blown, look up the 1969 speech by Dr. Richard Day in 1969. I kind of got that part. Super crazy. I'll go check that out. It'd be interesting. Coral Tigger, I agree with you on Bitcoin, but your power going out theory on it can apply to banks too. Absolutely. And hence the reason why I say you need to have cash at home. You need to have precious metals at home. The only problem is you can't have Bitcoin at home because there is nothing physical. You need to have a couple of months worth of cash at home, and you need to have, again, like I said, 5 to 10% in a good market. So you adjust for you in silver, in physical silver in your house. All right. Because if the banks do shut down, if we have an EMP, okay, that takes 5 years to recover from, all those records are going to be gone. You're not going to go back to your bank 5 years from now and say, here's my balance book. I had this amount. And they're going to go, yep, big deal. I mean, that doesn't matter anymore. You're going to need something. Okay. What currency is worth at that point, who knows? But at least we know precious metals will have some value. Last question, Leah Burris. Is there any way to find out how many days you have in your food? Yeah, the best thing that I can suggest to anybody for something like that, go look at Prepper Nerd's website. Okay, or I'm sorry, Prepper Nerd's YouTube channel. He put together a software program that you can enter in all of everything you have, and it'll break down to what you got in proteins, what you got in vegetables, what you got in fruit, what you got in starches, what, you know, whatever, however you want to do it. And you can break it down by caloric intake and say, all right, if we figure in an SHTF event, you know, the average man is going to need 3,000 calories to do the work all day, and you figure out 3,000, it'll tell this, his program has figured, will be able to tell you how much food you have, where you're short, what you need to add, and everything like that. I was one of his beta testers on this thing. Great program, and I know he's got a whole bunch of other people. So go check out his YouTube channel. Watch some of the videos. He'll explain how it works, and get in touch with him or whatever, and get with him on that. That's the easiest way to do it. You know, you could calculate it all by yourself if you want, but again, the best way, like I've said, everybody, if you already got a bunch of stuff, use that. Otherwise, figure out what make a meal plan, whether it's 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, however you're going to do it, and buy all the ingredients you're going to need to make that however many times a year. If you want to do a 30-day meal plan, say, okay, this is what it takes for me to make cream of chicken soup. And I need this and this and this and this and this. And I'm going to have that once a month for 12 months. Good. I need to have 12 chicken breasts. I need to have 12 carrots. I need to have 12 onions. I need to have 48 potatoes for that one meal to last me for a year. That's how you go. That's how you can go about figuring it out. So one of those two ways. But again, both of them come down to the same thing. It's all about organization. So, all right, guys, it's 9:01. Happy Tuesday evening. Have a great one. Thank you all for coming. We will see you in the morning. Pinball out.